Hey everybody! On today's episode of With or Without Whiskey, we will be reviewing Balcones Brimstone. Stick around. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of With or Without Whiskey. Just like always, I'm your host Ryan, and today we will be reviewing Balcones Brimstone. So, just like always, I'm going to start with a brief introduction about the whiskey, the distillery, and give you some fun and interesting facts I may have found. Then I'll go into my nosing and my tasting notes. I'll give it a grade from 1 to 100 and let you know if we're going to be with it or without it. Now, before we get started, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button down below. That way you show your support to me and the channel. Balcones is a distillery out in Waco, Texas. It started in 2009 in an old welding shed under a bridge. Brimstone whiskey is a smoky whiskey that uses sun-baked Texas scrub oak to impart that smoky flavor. It is not disclosed exactly how the whiskey is smoked, but it is speculated that they use a technique called smoke injecting, which is a process where pumps force smoke through the whiskey after it's distilled. It is non-chill filtered with no color additives and aged in new charred oak. It is made from 100% blue corn and says aged at least 1 day on the bottle. It is 106 proof or 53% ABV and costs about $60 to $70. All right, let's get started. All right. So I haven't really disclosed this too much on the channel, but I am a big fan of smoky whiskeys. I love peated scotches. I love a lot of different smoky flavors in my whiskeys. I do like other smoky whiskeys, so we'll see how this one holds up. All right, so right off the bat, you could see how dark this whiskey is. Right? It's almost like a dark brown kind of color. So it says on the bottle that this was aged at least 1 day. Now, I don't think it's that young, but it is hinting that this is a younger whiskey. So the color in this whiskey probably comes from the smoke aspect of it. Seeing as they're using scrub oak, it probably gives it a darker color. That's just my guess though. All right, let's get into the nose. Okay, right off the bat, I'm getting a lot of dark fruits. I'm getting very raisiny, kind of plum smells. I'm getting some smoky flavors in there, but it smells more like that liquid smoke that you add into like barbecue sauces or any type of barbecued meats. And it's not so much like an ashtray you would get from, let's say, a peated scotch. There's a little bit of sweetness in there. I'm getting some brown sugar and a hint of oak in the back. It's not too strong. Yeah, like that liquid smoke flavor and that caramel brown sugar kind of smell is really bleeding through more than the oak. All right, let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Okay, the taste really gives it that smoky flavor. Right at first, you get vanilla and you get some caramel. Not too much, but it's there. And then you get that hard smoke flavor right at the end. It's like a very meaty kind of smoke. And then right after that, I'm kind of getting like a raw corn kind of taste. That's probably because this is a younger whiskey, but it's not terrible. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's super sweet up front, then it goes right into that smoky flavor, and it ends on almost like an ashy kind of note. You get a little bit of the alcohol burn from it being a little bit higher in proof. It's 106, but it's not too bad. The finish is where you get, like I said, most of that smoky, ashy kind of taste. Like it tastes like if you're around a campfire and the next morning you go and you take a shower and you get that big whiff of like soot and ash. It kind of tastes like that. Like if you could imagine what that would taste like. Yeah, there's nothing much after the smokiness. The finish isn't really that long, but it is very smoky. All right, let's try it one more time. Okay, as you start to get into it a little bit more, the like that savory, meaty kind of flavor comes out. Like it tastes like if you cooked a steak right on the charcoals.
The meat directly on the coals.
Like forget the grill grate, just take that off, put a skirt steak right on top of some burning coals, and it kind of has that taste. Like you get that meatiness and that ashiness right in there. All right, let's see what it'll do with a little bit of water. One, two. All right, swirl it around a little bit. All right, let's hit the nose first. It didn't really change the nose. Like those fruity flavors are still coming in. I'm still getting the plum, the raisin kind of scent. A little bit more vanilla and a little bit less smoke, but it smells about the same. Let's see if it did anything to the taste. Okay, cut down the alcohol burn a little bit, and it brought up that woody flavor. Like you can taste the oak that it sits in. You can taste the meatiness that I was talking about before with that hint of ash, but it's not too complex. It took away that raw corn kind of taste. It took away a little bit of the sweetness. So it's really savory now. It's kind of woody, and it's a little bit richer. Like it has a little bit more viscosity to it. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, there's a little bit of smokiness, but that's kind of gone too. It's mostly woody, meaty, and like kind of a finish of ash. It coats your mouth a little better with water, but it's not, I'd say it would go from a short finish to a just barely medium finish on that. All right, stick around for the grade. So, Balcones Brimstone. What do I think? On the nose, there really wasn't much there, but what it had, it was very strong. Those dark fruits like the plum and the raisins really kind of punched through, which I wasn't expecting. And then the smoke was there kind of as like a supporting scent. Like it wasn't the dominant scent, but it was still noticeable. There was a little bit of oak, but it was mostly fruity and smoky. The taste kind of had layers. It was It was vanilla up front with a little bit of sweetness. Then it transitioned into a good, like, rich, meaty kind of smoke. Got a little bit of that raw corn kind of taste. And then it ended on a very ashy note. Like, the finish was very ashy, kind of smoky, and it gave you a little bit of that, like, cooked meat kind of taste. When you added the water, it didn't really do anything to the taste. I'm sorry, it didn't really do anything to the nose, but it made a little bit of a change on the taste. It gave more of those wood aspects. It gave a little bit more of the meatiness rather than the smokiness, and it brought the viscosity up and the mouthfeel up a little bit. So, for Balcones Brimstone, I think I'm going to give it a 78 out of 100. It's very good, and it's a very unique whiskey. It gave me plums, it gave me raisins, which was very unexpected. I kind of expected the raw corn kind of taste because it's 100% corn and it's relatively young, but it wasn't as bad as most young whiskeys I've had. The finish was okay. Like I said, I'm a big fan of longer finishes, and this was definitely not long, but that ashy kind of sooty meat was really nice. Okay, I've had like steaks cooked on charcoal before, and it does impart a little bit of that kind of ashy flavor to the meat, and I was kind of getting that in this, so I was a little bit happy with that. The water didn't change the nose too much, but it kind of rounded out the palate. Gave me some of those wood notes that we were missing in the initial taste. It gave a little bit more of those meaty flavors and cut back a little bit on the smokiness and the fruitiness. So, for Balcones Brimstone, I think I'm going to go with it. It's a very good whiskey. Look, do I think it's worth $70? Probably not. If you could find this for $50, that would be ideal. But if you've never had it before, pick it up. It tastes really good. I was very surprised at how much I enjoyed this one. It was enjoyable. They melded very well together. The flavors kind of interacted a little bit. So I was not disappointed with this one. So if you haven't tried it before, definitely give it a shot. Well, that does it for today's episode of With or Without Whiskey. If you enjoyed the episode and you had a good time, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button down here. Also, give me a like and hit the bell notification. That way you're informed every time I drop a new video. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know. Have you had Brimstone before? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you like those smokier whiskeys, or can you not stand it at all? I love to hear your opinion. Also, go to my Instagram channel, With or Without Whiskey. Give me a follow. Come say hi. I always enjoy the interaction. Until next time, stay safe, guys. Take care.